Good morning, and welcome back to the Dawg Show. I'm your host, LB10.
And I'm Ashton Anderson. Last week we had our first annual tailgate party with Empire's FFA. Here's an interview with AJ Henson for her thoughts on the party.
Here I am here with AJ Henson.
Hi, I'm AJ Henson.
How do you think the tailgate party went?
I think the tailgate party went pretty well. We had lots of activities. We had ice cream contest, we had cornhole tournament, we had a slip and slide, and it all went pretty well. We had a lot of people show up, so we are very thankful for that.
That's good. How do you think the rest of the year is going to turn out?
I think the rest of the year is going to turn out great. We do have a lot of other activities planned. We have, in about 2 weeks, firefighters are going to come up here and teach us about fire safety and everything. So we hope that's going to go over pretty well, but we're pretty excited for this year.
That's pretty good. Any other details that we need to know about?
We're just hoping it's going to have a fun year.
Okay, thanks for the interview, AJ. We'll see you later.
Thanks, AJ. Last week, we also kicked off our Spirit Fridays with a tropical game last Friday. Let's take a look at the sports to see how the game went.
I'm here with football player Cutter Rochel.
Hey,
How do you feel about last Friday's win?
I think we should have beat Rush by more.
Okay. How are you and your team preparing for y'all's next games?
We're practicing hard and conditioning.
What are you most excited about this year?
Winning.
Like to hear. How do you think your team is going to do this season?
I think we're going to make a good run in playoffs.
Okay. Thank you, Cutter Rochel.
Welcome.
Last Friday was our first home game here at Empire against Rush Springs. Our Bulldogs won 14-16. Congratulations, boys. Our softball girls continue their winning streak with a record of 14-5. Way to go, ladies. Back to you in the Dog Show studio.
Thanks, Kira. This week's game theme is Put the Panthers to Sleep, so make sure to wear your pajamas or comfiest clothes and put Paul's Valley to sleep.
This week, we sat down with our principal, Mr. Whaley, and talked about his expectations for this school. Here is Carlos interviewing him now.
Thanks, guys. I'm here today with our high school principal, Mr. Whaley. Mr. Whaley, thanks for joining us.
Well, you're welcome.
Mr. Whaley, this being your first year as a high school principal, what made you want to become a principal, and what made you want to come to Empire?
Well, there's a couple things that factor into that. I also worked in another career before I was in education, so I had 20 years in a career where I had worked in management and administration, kind of a business background. So I always enjoyed that, but I came to a point in my life where I felt like that I wanted to be an educator, I wanted to coach, I wanted to teach, and I felt like if I didn't do that, that it would escape me. So I sort of changed careers midstream. So about the age of 40, I just sold my house and moved and got my first teaching job and wanted to live my life with no regrets. And so that got me into the field of education. And I've been a teacher for 15 years, teacher and a coach. But after about 15 years, I felt like that my impact could be greater. I could have a greater range of impact with more students if I was in an administrative capacity. So I had the certificate. I actually went back to school and got another master's degree in educational leadership and pursued that. And I've had that certificate for a few years, and I've been looking for the right situation. And Empire just seemed like the right situation for me. I was born and raised in Stevens County, so I've been familiar with Empire for many, many years. I've always felt like that they had quality programs, but I felt like this was an intersection in my career and an intersection with Empire Public Schools that where they had a need for certain leadership skills, and I felt like that I could contribute to that. So it was just a good match, a good pairing, perfect situation, and so I was fortunate to be offered the opportunity and glad to be here.
Good answer. What is your plan for this year and coming years?
Well, this year I'm just trying to get settled in. I do believe that, having pride in our school is important. I think that having a good culture and climate, having a good sense of spirit and direction is important for students, and I think that needs to be student driven. I believe that myself and my staff can build that structure, but I feel like that I want to build the car, but then turn the keys over to the students. And so that's sort of what my 1 to 3 year plan is. Sort of have some different ideas for that, but I do want us to be very student driven in our decision making and in our control. I want students to be very involved in voicing their opinion about what they want and what they need. This is a very important part of our students' lifetime. You'll reflect on this for a long time. I will reflect on it also, but this is your high school years, and so I feel like that you need to have ownership in that and take control of that and be responsible and accountable for it.
Mr. Whaley, thanks for joining us. Now back to you in the Dawg Show studios.
What does Powder Puff do during the off season?
Check this out.
If you've noticed, this came out on Thursday this week. Well, that's because we don't have school tomorrow.
Or Monday. It's Labor Day weekend, so we get 4 days off.
And now for today's weather.
This Wednesday, we had this year's first Bulldog Book Talk with Serenity. Let's have a look at her reading to Miss Mefford and Miss Trudog's class now.
Penelope's favorite because pies are delicious. Penelope's dad packed her a lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. Finally, the big day came. Penelope Rex was very surprised to find out that all of her...
Had a great haul. Oh, a truck full of ducks? No, not me. I called for a mail truck. Ready? You ladies alright?
Thanks for tuning in this week.
We hope to see you again next week. Till then, LB10, signing off.
Bye.